Oh, some technical difficulties here, everyone. Let's just go. Let me just go live. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. Hey, what's up, everyone? How are you all doing? It's been a little while since I've done the my own stream that isn't Leftist Mafia. I think it's like a week, no, 2 weeks. Um, some things got in the way. With the kids. The kids have been sick. One got sick 2 weeks ago. One's been sick for the past week. On top of that, their various extracurricular activities, like the spring soccer season, have restarted. And so I've got two soccer practices on Wednesday that go deep into the night now. It's just crazy. So a little bit busy getting into this new schedule. The kid's sick, other things going on, which I'll let you guys know about as know what's going on myself. And so I took a little while to get this stream back up and going, but here we are. We are live after dealing with me trying to couldn't get the song working. But this is sort of just like a second half show. No interview guest today. I'm talking with a few people for the coming weeks. Um, and we're gonna take calls today because it's something that I've not done in a little while with you guys, and I miss talking to you all. It's that simple. I miss talking to you all. So and I should say, uh, I gotta figure out a new way to do call-ins and guests. The phone line thing still works. The phone line thing is fine, but if you haven't heard, Skype, which no podcast or live stream uses anymore except for me. Skype has finally announced it's kicking the bucket. It's closing up shop. Skype is done. Microsoft is killing Skype. When is the last day? uh, it just we're about a month and a few weeks away. May 2025, Skype is dead. I'm not gonna wait till May because I don't feel like dealing with that shit. Uh, when it shuts down, not having it work for guests and not being able to take your calls. Skype is shutting down. So anyone who liked calling in via Skype, I'm gonna do like a few more weeks of letting you call in via Skype, and then I'm killing it before Microsoft does, because I'm not dealing with that shit. Now, I see people saying Discord. I'm not going to hold interviews with guests through Discord. That is not convenient. I'm sorry. I've tried to join people's, maybe for like you guys, for call ins, that's fine. But to have guests on this show, like, I'm not going to have them go through Discord. I've gone through Discord via when I've been asked to go on other people's streams, and it is not convenient. It just isn't. Like if you're setting up like a little group for your team on a video game, that's fine. But like to have someone connect for like a guest spot, it's not convenient. I'm gonna have to pay for Zoom. Zoom seems like it's the best option. On top of that, you know how I told you all I mainly used Skype because the live streaming software I use, Ecamm Live, directly integrates Skype. Well, the other thing they directly integrate, other than Skype, is Zoom. There's a direct Zoom integration. Already calling me. Already people calling me. Hold on, I'll take your calls in a second. 1 second. Hold on. Be patient. I see you, Usama. I will take your call. You'll be the first call I take. Just give me a second. They integrate Zoom directly. So in fact, it might even be better. I could do some interesting things with Zoom. Like remember how I tried to have multiple guests on and also have them listen to like a video and it wasn't always perfect? The Zoom integration for multiple guests is much better than the Skype integration. So we're gonna be able to do some fun things with Zoom, but I gotta pay for it. I gotta pay for it. So if you support what I do, folks, whether it's the whole shebang, I want to make that clear. Like whether it's a YouTube membership or a super chat or a Twitch, Twitch Prime subscription or Patreon.com/Matt Binder subscription. I can't do even a single one of those shows without your support. So like if I'm doing one, like you should be like, "Oh, that's where my money goes." And everything else I do is a like on top of that, just like a bonus. Obviously, I want to give you guys as much as possible. And as I'm able to grow the show and as I am able to put more time to things, I plan on giving you guys as much as possible. There was a hot minute where I was able to where I was doing like what 3 shows a week, like not counting Majority Report, like on my own channel. It just became unsustainable because unfortunately the memberships didn't grow to sustain the 3 shows a week, so I had to cut back. But we'll give it another go. I do think, and I am feeling like I need to do. I've been saying this forever. You've heard this 100 times, like just videos on the channel that people can share. I got to do it, and I will. But let's take calls now. Let's take calls. I'll take calls for a little while, and we'll see how many people call, and that'll be the show. We'll talk about whatever you want. There's a lot going on in the world. I mean, honestly, I am like I'm in this weird like status, and maybe some of you feel the same way. Where like I'm paying attention to everything because there's so much going on, but at the same time, there's so much going on that it's just like it's beyond my capacity to like. I'm like, it's like I know it's important. I know this stuff, but like, what are we gonna do about it? So let's take Skype calls first. Search Doomed Live on Skype. If you don't have Skype set up because it's closing in a month and a half, don't worry. I'm gonna take a few Skype calls and then I'm gonna open up the phone lines, and I'll give you the phone line number when I start taking when I open the phone lines. All right. So let's just take. We already have a Skype call coming in. Let me take that Skype call. Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from? Hey, Osama. I don't see you on the screen here though. What's going on, my friend? Oh, using the wrong camera. I can. Oh wait, hold on. They can't hear you. Hold on. Now they could hear you. Hold on. I gotta fix something on my end too. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, you're not showing up, cuz hold on. All right, now you're showing up. People can see you, and now
Nice.
people can hear you. You
This is the
have
better
an
webcam.
amazing, since the last time I've seen you on camera, which has been a few months, you have
Yeah.
an amazing lion-like mane. Like, it's amazing. I mean, hold on,
One
you're
second. Let me.
oh, you
Um,
sound weird. You sound like you're coming in through the wrong mic. Can you talk for a second?
okay.
Oh, that is much better. I
How?
don't know what it was, but now it's working perfectly.
Cool, because it's not the phone, so it's the good mic. The SM. What is it? The SM7B? Sure, whatever. And then it's the good camera that I have that is just a webcam.
Okay, all right.
Not like you, not like you, with the fancy. Which you have the like those big
I
cameras,
have
right? Like the one
I have a camera that was way too expensive.
yeah. I imagine. I think my webcam was like 30 or $40. I don't remember. Whatever. A Logitech.
Let me buy this camera, and I'm gonna do so much
Yeah.
with it, and like I would like to do so much with it, and I just haven't. But I will. So what's up, Usama? What
I
would you like
was
to talk
like,
about?
yeah, the same. I not for me. It was more money than it should have been, and I was gonna stream and everything, and I'm like, I'm lazy. I don't press the record button and try to stream. But yeah,
I hear you.
like you said, a lot's going on. So things are sort of ramping up in Balochistan as well.
Yes, please give us an
Like
update. I've heard some you know,
Yeah,
been in the news.
Tokyo Hans wrote president, but it was vice president. But he's been released, thankfully.
Okay.
But the leader of the protest movement, the BYC, Dr. Marang Baloch, has now been captured and is missing.
So for people who don't know, please give people like a quick summary, a little bit about Balochistan. Like, where is it located?
Yeah.
What is going on there that is newsworthy that you're talking about? I know we did an episode on it, but that was a little while ago, and there's probably people who didn't catch that episode who are
23.
listening.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Pakistan is, of course, like right next to India and Iran and Afghanistan, and it has like four of, I guess now five provinces in a way, but not really. And the southwestern province is Balochistan, which is right next to Iran and Afghanistan's southern part. It's basically like the same that the British do in other places. The land itself is like bigger, but it's been split into a bit in Afghanistan, some in Iran, and some in Pakistan. And the people and the area in Iran and in Pakistan both are oppressed and sort of didn't want to be part of the country, but are. So there have been a lot of separatist movements. The people are dispossessed. Like they can still watch the stuff we did in that episode is still, of course, relevant. The poverty levels, all that other stuff.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't. I didn't say it wasn't relevant. I just said people.
No.
Everything I do is evergreen and always relevant. There's nothing I ever do that is out of date. Every episode of this show. Yep. Including the one where I said, I think Kamala is going to win.
But now what's happening is the army, the like militant movement has extremized, is attacking random civilians from other provinces. They recently attacked a train, sort of abducted it. They did something in a tunnel somehow. I don't know. They got a train somehow. There was like a whole thing that happened there where people died, and the military is trying to connect the militant group with the protest movement, which is the militaries always do. It's kind of like how Israel just says everything is Hamas. There was a protest in Quetta against these what we call enforced disappearances, where they just take random people, like they can be activists or like the vice president, vice principal of the Balochistan Medical College. They just take random people, and sometimes they can be just gone for a few days.
Oh boy, that sounds.
Yeah.
That sounds. I mean, thank God that type of thing's not happening here.
Sometimes it's months, sometimes it's years.
Yeah, I mean, I guess all authoritarian, sort of terrible regimes and governments all over the world are doing the same thing. It's pretty great. We're living in great times.
So the people, and they've been doing this for decades. The people don't know whether their loved ones are alive or dead because, of course, sometimes they just let them go on random roads and random places and just figure everything out yourself how you'll get back home, if you're lucky. Otherwise, they just kill you, and sometimes they chop you up and put you like in flour bags or something and dump you on the side of the road as well. They do this tactic where they claim that we killed some terrorists, like they call them terrorists, like they killed the militant groups. They claim that these people were in the militant group, so they kill them and then mix them in with the fighters, and basically as a way to say, we didn't abduct them, they just joined these extremist groups. So the people in Quetta were from the attack on the train. The separatists who died, the militants, they were brought into a hospital, and the people protesting tried to get into the hospital to recover the bodies just so they can check, like maybe it's my loved one that I haven't seen for years or something. And in during that protest, the police got violent, and they fired live rounds, and 3 people died, including like a kid. And then after that, they blamed it on the protest movement itself and said that they're doing terrorism, and then abducted the main person, Dr. Marang Baloch, which is leading this movement of protest called the BYC, Baloch Jati Committee. It's like Black Lives Matter in the US in a way, but it's not like fleecing people like the organization was.
Yet it's not fleecing people yet. Okay,
No,
seems
these
to
are
be
like
that seems to be the end, the way it goes for all. But you know,
the difference is that
I'm joking.
everyone,
Obviously,
yeah, of course.
in some ways, who knows?
Like the reason that because you might have heard that the societies that are more patriarchal still, of course, but the reason that the leader is a woman and other people are women, a lot of protesters are women as well, because they're more brutal towards men. There's like this whole what's the word, benevolent, like women are to be protected, like the old-timey misogynist type mindset.
Right.
So a lot of the men that were protesting are missing, so the women are still there, and it's their brothers, their fathers. And another thing they do is when you're
Women have it so
protesting, they might
easy,
not,
don't they?
no, they still abduct women. It's just like they did
Yes,
here.
I
I know.
that I'm giving.
I
I'm
know.
getting.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
You know what I'm doing.
Yeah. But another insidious thing they do is they might not abduct you. They'll just abduct your family. They'll abduct your brother or sister or father, mother, kid. And now the military seems to like be more emboldened. It was weakened for a while, and they wanna like basically they're saying they're taking a hard stance or whatever, which basically means scorched earth type stuff. And I don't know what will happen if the leader is harmed in any way, because she was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, so she's like a nominee for that. That's the sort of person they've abducted, and if they harm her or she's dead, I don't know what would happen in Balochistan at that point.
That is like, again, obviously it's seeming more extreme over there, what's going on, but at the same time it is like frightening to think, like, obviously this is how it starts everywhere, like what's going on here. And then they eventually move on as they feel more empowered to take it further.
Like the mention of police officers in like plain clothing in the US, that's not mentioned in Pakistan because it's a common thing. It might become common in the US as well, so people, reporters might stop not mention it. And I mean, they've been doing that for like decades in that area, so it can like in the US, everything's accelerating. It can happen. Who knows? They want to do it to the groups they can get away with, like Palestinians are an easy mark, or like South Americans or black people, like Haitians are easy targets, Venezuelans or whatever else. But yeah, that's the stuff in Balochistan.
That's
there's
it.
A lot.
That's all.
Yeah. If you, I don't deal with like the personality politics over there, but there's a lot of goofy characters in Pakistan as well. But
that actually sounds like fun, and I need fun. Give me an example of one goofy character we're talking about here.
Like I said, I'm not tuned in. I was like doing it as a segue to the goofy characters in the US, where they're texting people on Signal and adding reporters. Like I feel like if I was accidentally added to one of these group texts, I would never let myself be found out. I'd make fake accounts and add myself.
Oh, well, yeah.
They couldn't kick me out.
It is so amazing that the editor of The Atlantic, removed himself from the group. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're a
Yeah.
journalist? You didn't do anything inappropriate. They added you. They gave you the invitation and access to the room. You don't got to do anything. You're not stealing anything. They gave you the access.
And as a reporter, you yourself said, like he himself said, that he's editing out like a CIA person's room. So he is literally an editor he knows what things are sensitive and what he's more trustworthy than those officials. So he should be like, okay, I can do
Well,
this more
he's like a
responsibly than anyone
former
else. I'll still be here.
he's like a former like IDF soldier. So you know,
Like falling in line type stuff.
yeah. But I mean, like, listen, you're a journalist.
Yeah.
Your job is to basically report on those in power and how they affect the people, your readers. And they've given
Yeah.
you the people in power have given you this access. Doesn't matter if they realized or not. As long as you didn't do anything illegally to obtain that access, if they remove you, that's it. They remove you. But until they remove you, you have full reign there. Now, obviously, if there is information in there that could cause harm to an individual, you leave that part out, or
Yeah.
but from what I've seen, was nothing there, nothing in there that should not have been reported on from the get go. They only shared all the messages that he saw after the Trump administration claimed it wasn't classified to save their own ass, but clearly there was
Yeah.
classified material in there.
So wait,
But
he released the full text and there's no mention of any CIA agent or anything.
there's no
Because
specific names, but there's definitely like planning of the attack in there, which
because
should
that's
be
what he
classified.
claimed, right?
I
He
mean,
claimed that.
maybe that's what they're not sharing, that part of it. I got no idea about that. But what is there? What is there? Definitely classified stuff. But nothing that he couldn't have reported on and shared from the get go.
Yeah. I would have screenshots and I wouldn't do it myself. I just should leak it, like tell other reporters to do it just so they don't catch on to me.
Wow,
Like
you
I'm
want-
already sharing it around.
You want? I mean, they're gonna figure it out eventually that someone was in the room, and you want? I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But I mean,
you just add random, like, because these are like initials, right? They're using initials. So just add QB, UR, ST. I don't know. Just keep adding random one.
I mean, clearly they tried to add someone who, and they failed at it. And the thing is, though, that the guy, what the hell is his name? The guy who added the Atlantic,
Waltz?
Waltz.
Something Waltz, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get his full name. Mike Waltz, the National Security Advisor. He added Atlantic's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, to the group chat. And he's trying to figure out how he was added to how he's going to get to the bottom of how Jeffrey Goldberg was added to the group chat on Signal. And then Jeffrey Goldberg shares the chat information, like the screenshots, and it literally says Mike Waltz added you to the group. So I just put it up on the screen. So like, yeah, if you want to get to the fucking bottom of how Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic got added to the chat, you should look within, because it was you, Michael Waltz, being that it says right there, you added him to the group. It's amazing, isn't it? But
Okay.
But I mean, so he added him to the group, and it's clear that he meant to add someone else. Now I know there's people who claim that it was all a setup and they wanted. I don't buy that. These guys are not playing 5D chess. These guys are fucking morons.
No.
They added this guy by accident. But the thing here is, why the hell does Trump's national security advisor, Mike Waltz, have the Atlantic's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, as a contact? Because the only way you're accidentally adding someone to Signal is by Signal, like, auto completing someone as you type it and you not realizing, but they only auto complete people who you have already contacted, who are on your contacts list or you've already had a conversation with on Signal. Why is Mike Waltz have this contact with Jeffrey Goldberg? That should be the question for the Trump
Yeah.
administration. Was he leaking to Goldberg other things, and he didn't mean to leak it
Or
to
do they
this
just
to him?
have reporters saved on their phone for like I'll do it whenever I do it type thing? Like they have random other reporters as well, and
Yeah.
he just
Also,
hit the red lottery.
Jeffrey Goldberg was probably. He's not very. I'm not trusting a guy from the Atlantic like that either.
Yeah, that's true.
He could have been on this as more in a role of former IDF soldier than journalist.
Could be, yeah. But you were talking about goofy characters, so I remembered one. I can share this one. There's this guy who was like a leader of something called the MQM, Muttahida Qawmi Movement, which Muhajir Qawmi Movement. Muhajir means basically a refugee. So the Muhajir are people who came from India to Pakistan. A lot of them went to Karachi, the biggest city, and he was like a gang leader type character. Like imagine like a New York gang mafioso type, and he used to like he had a grip on that community in Karachi for a long time, and he used to force people to come to his like rallies and whatever, and everyone knew he was drunk. Like everyone outside Karachi was just laughing at him. He used to like drunkenly sing random things about like talking about whatever, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And then you see the crowd, and the crowd's just watching like dead silent. and that's one. Another
That's
one is this another leader of another party. It's like a Islamist type party, right wing. JGY, Jamiyat Ulama Islam. That guy is like basically like beard, no mustache, like how you think about a typical Muslim mullah, if you know what mullahs are. And we call him.
I don't stereotype anybody. You tell
I
me a
do.
picture. You tell me a picture of a Muslim person. I have no idea what you're talking about. No clue. Can't do it.
I'll do it. And we call him Mullah Diesel because he was like corrupt and he tried to like he got his money like doing corrupt stuff related to like petroleum stuff. So we just call him Mullah Diesel. But if you watch them, they're like a lot of very random weird characters. You watch it like watch Pakistani TV as entertainment. There's a lot of weird stuff happening. But as a Pakistani, you're like, why don't they discuss anything important? It's kind of like imagine like okay, Indian media has a lot of like
welcome to American media too. I mean,
yeah, Indian media has a lot of propaganda stuff, and they have some other stuff as well. But imagine if like your entire media sphere was just CNN panels, everyone's shouting,
I
nothing
gotta say,
actually being reported on.
It's not too hard to imagine that. That is basically what we have. I mean,
Other than the Fox, because Fox is actually propagandistic. But
it's sort of like not that different, except like how it leans ideologically, but like very on the surface though, because at the end of the day, they're both corporatist media anyway.
yeah, but like, remember how Jon Stewart was on Crossfire when he destroyed Tucker Carlson's entire
That was
CNN
a
career?
great moment. It's a
Yeah,
classic.
but his critique was basically the entirety of Pakistani media. It's like panels, and they're just talking, and everyone has to have their own side, and it's politicians from each, like speak talking heads from every
Gotta
party.
say, I'm not seeing the difference.
No, but okay. This is funny because people you do say this. Pakistan is just like a poorer America. Like the nationalists sound like the nationalists in the U.S. and the militarism is like the militarism in Pakistan.
May not be
The
a
only
poor America
I guess
for
difference is
long.
that you're not got like an actual military dictator. So you somehow some of like journal in your country decides, okay, Trump's too much of an idiot. Only the glorious military can lead this country, and then just does a coup. Then you'll basically be Pakistan. Yeah, indigenous people colonializing indigenous people. That's check. So, what's the other one? America is like a third world country with the Gucci handbag or something.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. I like that.
Yeah, someone said it. I don't know who, but
Yeah,
I can't take credit. But that's basically what this is.
I mean, that's the old school punk rock Matt Binder here saying how much like the Gucci like I don't get name brands like that at all. I don't get why people pay so much money for that shit. It really doesn't make any sense to me. But
Yeah,
that's the American way, baby.
like if you're like an enthusiast, like if you're into tailoring or whatever, then you can sort of understand where they started. But at some point, they're just luxury brands. They're just the name
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, it's
Maybe
not
at
even,
some point, maybe at some point
it's,
there was
it's not
something.
even like oh the designs are nice or something. Fucking ugly as shit if you ask me.
Maybe they were nice when they started or something, and that's how
Yeah,
they got their name.
I
Who
don't I
knows?
don't get it.
It's
I don't get it. But
yeah.
that's just me being a.
It's better than I guess Canada, where they just report other people's news all the time. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, because in Canada, our news is like, oh, it snowed, and then oh, it snowed too much. It snowed a little bit. It's not, and then other countries' news is like details about how like the U.S. or Germany operate and what the system is like, and then you have Canadians that know a lot about every other country, but they don't know anything about Canada,
Right. Well, I mean,
except right now.
I would say, I would say, I don't know about Canadians in particular, but a lot of people, a lot of citizens of other countries outside the U.S., a lot more than in the U.S., tend to be more worldly and know about what's going on all over instead of just a very
Yeah, but
narrow-minded.
they don't know about. That's the weird part is they don't know about their own country. It's like I'll avoid my own
Well,
country, but everywhere else,
I get it.
like.
I get it.
It's like holding a telescope and you're never looking towards what's happening right here.
I mean, if yeah, I mean, I get it. I guess.
But
Depends what country you're from. You know what I mean?
the Trump things and the threats and everything have forced them to look inwards a bit. So right now feels like like that's why David Dole's getting numbers. Like if you go back and watch his Canada stuff, you're like, no one watched this. Like
Oh,
he
David Dole's blowing
reported.
up. I have no idea about anything, man. Right
Yeah,
now,
right now he
like
is.
I am so like, remember how David was like at the beginning after Trump got elected and everything, and he was like
Yeah,
barely like I was getting out of that, and then I sort of fell back in that hole, and right now
makes sense.
I am like laser focused on soccer. that's my that's my that's my that's what's keeping me sane right now, I guess you could say.
The
I've been
World Cup's
paying
gonna be
I've
something.
been paying
When is it? Next year.
yeah, the World Cup will be fun. I'm a big MLS guy. I know MLS gets some
Yeah,
shit,
I know.
but I'm a big MLS guy. I like it. I like it a lot. I like because it's easier to care about a team
Yeah,
representing where you live than like just having a
I
favorite
understand.
than having
I
a
understand.
favorite Premier League team. Like
The only criticism is I don't like the name. Like it's too derivative.
Major League Soccer.
Yeah, it's like a very boring name.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
our when Pakistan was making its own Indian now, no, not Indian, its own cricket league, they called it Pakistan Super League. At least it's not a PSL. I don't know. Pakistan Super League doesn't sound as good, but PSL sound has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean,
MLS,
MLS is too close
ML,
to like
yeah.
MLB. Yeah.
MLB has like
Also,
I don't know. Maybe
the
it's biased. I don't know.
baseball season starts tomorrow, and you guys know, I'm not a big all around baseball fan, but I'm a big Mets fan, and Mets are the team to watch this year because of the signing of Juan Soto, and like I'm super excited for the Mets season to start tomorrow.
Is that the very famous Japanese American who's like everywhere these
No,
days?
that's Otani. You're thinking of Otani.
Otani. Oh,
He's with the
okay.
Dodgers. No, Juan Soto is the guy that the Mets. He was on the Yankees. The Mets signed him last. No, the Mets signed him
Oh,
a couple
Juan
months ago.
Soto.
Yeah,
Juan would be a Korean name. He's Korean?
no,
American.
he's not. Juan is like a Spanish name, like Juan.
Oh, Juan. I thought it was
Juan.
Juan.
I think he's. I think he's. I'm not sure. Hold on. Where is he from? But he's the biggest contract in Major League history, sports history. It's like $756 million over the course of 15 years. Um, yeah, it's but he's Dominican. Um,
There
but
is
the
a
thing is,
big.
he's super young and he's like already like the best hitter in baseball or one of the best hit, and like apparently the Mets are gonna have him for like his entire peak. Like he's not hit that age that's considered like the peak of a baseball player's career. And so the thought process is with him joining the Mets might win their first World Series since the year I was fucking born, 1986.
Yeah, of course. That's. I feel like I've heard two things I've heard like throughout, like randomly on the internet. One is England bringing it home, that never happens, and the other is a New York team winning something big that it hasn't won in decades, like any New York team.
Yes. I mean, the Yankees are well. They used to win all the time. They used to win, but now they're a
But that's
shadow of their
like
former
that's the same. Like England and I guess England did win a cricket World Cup recently, but it's always we'll bring it home. Like with football,
Yeah,
we'll
but
bring it home. We'll bring it home.
England's never won a World Cup, right?
I think it's won once, right? They won a cricket World Cup. I don't know
No,
about
they did win.
football.
They did win once back in
Okay.
1966.
Yeah, that's why bring it home again because it's home. It started.
1966. Yes. I will
That's
say that. I will say this. It is so fucking funny that this was the U.S. national team was being built up as like this is the team that's gonna fucking do it. This is the team. They've put together this all-star team. This is the fucking team that's gonna do it. And they have fucking done worse than like any U.S. national team has done. They suck. It is unbelievable. Yes, I know that individually the players belong to some really good teams.
Yeah,
We
but
got
that's
some,
never worked.
yeah. The thing is, you look at that U.S. national team, and just right off the bat, it's fucking ridiculous. That's the U.S. national team. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make up the U.S. Wait, listen, straight up, way too many white players. Honestly, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. I'm in New York. I live not too far away from like the soccer playing hangout in New York City, or at least in Queens, right by City Field, Flushing Meadow Park, where soccer players from all over the city come and fucking play. These fucking guys are fucking amazing. Some of these players, they just don't have the means. They just don't have. And
Yeah,
this is actually
that's
not the white part, but one of the big like criticisms of U.S. soccer is that unlike other countries, the fucking barrier to entry is fucking huge. It really is not about how good you are. It's about the fucking money that your parents were able to put into making sure you were in the right groups, the right schools, the right opportunities to get noticed by the national team. It's not fucking well. It's not fucking good.
you know what's
Like
funny?
there are really good players who are getting overlooked because they just don't
You
have
know,
the means to get
you know
into that.
what's
No, go
funny?
ahead.
That's the same thing in Pakistan. Like the best players are like underground and they don't get picked, and then these like rich people who have the connections get picked, and Pakistan never
I
gets
mean,
anywhere in football.
that's the world,
It's the
man.
same.
That's how the world works. But apparently, like in soccer, it's a little bit more liberal in other countries about how you're able to get
No, people
noticed.
scout.
Yeah,
Like Japan has worked so much in scouting countries. Iran, even though doesn't have money, that's why they're the two
I'm
teams in
telling you,
Asia that
the
can
best play.
compete.
Are there a few players who should be on that U.S. national team? Yeah, sure. Are there players who should be on that? Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, not only that. I'm looking at like you look at like fucking even like the MLS players. There's a bunch of players that should be on the U.S. national team who got signed by the MLS who aren't on the U.S. national team. Like NYCFC's fucking goalie Matt Freese is considered to be like one of the best goalies in the league, and he's not on the national team. I know that they had looked at him, and I think they signed him as like the fourth backup goalie or some shit. This is ridiculous. I mean,
It's favoritism and
yeah.
it's corruption. But I'm still a bit salty that America beat us in cricket somehow. Yeah, how did you like? You had the World Cup in cricket's
Well,
also rising
I mean,
in the US.
that's an example of you look at that cricket U.S. team, and it wasn't a bunch of white
Re-
kids whose parents got money. It was a bunch of guys from India, right? And wasn't it?
no,
Wasn't it?
India, Pakistan, Bangladesh.
Yeah, it was a bunch of guys who came, who lived in the U.S. I don't even think they were even like Indian American. I think they were just like people who moved, guys who moved here. They immigrated here, and they played for the U.S. team. And I mean, listen,
Yeah, it was like it
I'm
was
not,
basically like
I'm not complaining. I'm not
if
complaining either. That's what the U.S. is all about. That's what makes this whole
yeah.
immigration thing so ridiculous. Like everyone's like, "Oh, we're U.S. culture." What the fuck is U.S. culture? I always believed that U.S. culture was fucking the combination of everyone. The immigration is U.S. culture. Like that's fucking like that. Like other like I guess in some ways there is like Americana, but Americana is a part of U.S. culture. It's not the entirety of U.S. culture.
Cricket is interesting with that because England has some players that are like South Asian as well, and South America, Africa has players. You might enjoy. I don't know if they like. Do they have major league? They probably have major league cricket, right? You might enjoy cricket. I feel like it's a more complex
I don't.
baseball.
Let's put it this way: I love soccer, and one of the reasons why I love soccer is because when you go to a soccer game, you know you're going to be there for approximately 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah,
There's no like, oh, 10th overtime, or oh, the eighth inning went really long and the game stretched to like 6 hours or some shit like that.
yeah,
You
but
go
that's
to
why.
you go to a soccer
You,
match, 90 minutes to 2 hours. That's it. You know, sometimes there's 1 minute of extra time after the 45 minutes of regular play. Sometimes there's maybe 10 minutes. You know, and maybe if it's a game where it can't end in a draw, maybe it'll go to, overtime, but not long. Um, I cannot imagine a game where it's like, all right, guys, wrap it up. We'll come back tomorrow and
no,
continue
no, no, no,
playing.
no. You're thinking of Test cricket. Test cricket is like barely. Test cricket is something people watch when they're like doing other stuff and it's on the TV. T20 is very short. It's like maybe 3 hours at most. Because it's 20 overs. Each over is 6 balls. Unless it rains or something, you're gonna have a full match and it's gonna be more fun because they want to make runs and it's like in baseball, right? You don't bounce stuff. So in cricket you have to bounce, so it can go in either way. And with a flat bat and like being in the center of the field, you can hit it in any direction. So there's more strategy. Like in baseball, you can't hit at the back and try to run. In cricket, you can hit at the back and maybe get 4 runs if it's the boundary or whatever. So you can hit in any direction.
I'll try cricket because listen, I I love soccer, I like
Yeah,
baseball. Cricket is apparently a little bit like baseball, right? I'm sure I will give cricket a try. Nothing against cricket. I like hockey. Hockey's a fun
yeah.
sport. Um, not a big,
The on
not a big. I've I've seen youth basketball games that are really exciting with my son. And I think the game is exciting. I just think like pro basketball isn't as exciting. I think when it's just too much scoring for me. I know that's why Americans love it because Americans love their high scoring games, which is why they love basketball and
cricket is
football.
like 200 runs, 500 runs.
Yeah,
If
that's
you're a big-
I like it. I like a game where a single goal is a fucking big deal, and
yeah, but
that's fucking soccer.
the really fun, like if you actually enjoy cricket, is like the really fun matches are where they keep bowling really good and it's like a really low score. And so every time you hit, there's danger of like because there's only 10 wickets. So every hit, the bowlers are really well, and there's a danger there. Those are better than ones where they're just hitting again and again, like boundaries and like 6 runs, 4 runs, 6 runs, 4 runs, because at that point you start like kind of deflating. But if it's like a low scoring game and it's the last over and you need like 13 runs or whatever and 3 balls are left and then something like that. Those are the exciting ones.
Right. I forgot to
don't
mention
watch Test
I forgot to
cricket,
mention
though.
another one of my favorite sports, pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I actually went to that Raw at MSG.
Oh, nice.
I got hooked up with a ticket. And so I'm not gonna turn down the opportunity to
No,
go to
of
a
course.
show. Yeah.
No, easy.
It was not very it was not a very good show. Let's put it this way. It wasn't a bad show. It was just an uneventful show. We didn't get
What
we
was the
didn't
main
get
event?
We didn't get fucking John Cena. The main event was
Yeah.
really good. Seth
Yeah,
Rollins
Seth Rollins, and yeah, that's
and CM Punk in a cage. That was
yeah.
actually obviously the highlight. That was great. That was really good. Everything else was just it wasn't bad. It just wasn't a MSG show.
Yeah.
Like it was fucking Madison Square Garden, and I wanted to see Cena. I can't believe I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Who, if you were to tell me 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, that I'd be saying, oh, I wanted to see Cena on this show, I'd be telling you, what the fuck is going on? What happened? Because
One thing that's annoying about the MSG is apparently I've heard they use their own camera crew. So so if you're watching on, it's always not the best. MSG shows are never.
I don't think it's the camera crew specifically. I believe the reason why MSG shows are so much money and they are expensive as hell. All MSG shows though.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen the European ones?
Yeah, and then B, the reason they don't do TV shows there that often is because the WWE doesn't like how, as part of MSG's deal with the union, is that they must use unionized workers. And so they get paid fairly. They get overtime pay if the show goes on too long, which is great. Which is great. But the WWE obviously doesn't like paying that. Doesn't like dealing with that.
The problem there is that the union work is great. The direction they're given, whoever does it, they don't. Maybe they're not used to it.
I'm pretty sure WWE still does the cameras. I don't think they give someone.
No, it always feels off. I don't know, because they get the entrances wrong, like where the camera should be and everything. If you want really good camera work, you've seen the recent European ones where John Cena's coming. The European camera work is really good with the drones and the spanning shot and.
There's drones. There's drones now at the. It was my first time at a show in a while, and that was something brand new. There is a fucking drone flying over the ring, and it gets really close to them. I was actually shocked. I felt like it stayed over the crowd. It wouldn't be that noticeable. There's one moment where literally, and I guess maybe this was specifically for the cage match, where they were fighting on CM Punk and Seth Rollins were fighting atop the cage. The drone flew right above, right to them. You could see it, just hovering right in front of them. And then it cut over the ring. It went across over the entire length of the ring. And when I watched the video of it, it was so it could get a cool, zooming out shot, of them fighting atop the ring. And it looked really cool, but it wasn't hidden to the live audience. There was a fucking drone flying right over. I'm actually surprised they're able to not be distracted by it. All I could watch when that drone would fly into your eyesight, all you could fucking watch is holy shit, is that thing gonna crash into us? What? It got really close. It was crazy.
I've heard that these days, because it's been developed a bit, they have these people who wear the goggles and can see everything and are so expert at doing it that they can literally you can have this much of a gap, they can fly through it like they're pilots or something. So there's people who do it are insanely talented.
Oh yeah, whoever was controlling it was definitely talented. There's no way. Also, you can't fly it over an audience of people without completely trusting the person controlling it. So one wrong move and that thing crashes, you got a lawsuit on your hands. That shit could hurt someone badly.
I would hope that the drones they're using are those really light ones that when they hit something, they just fall apart in a certain way.
It was fucking big. I mean, maybe it wasn't heavy, but it was fucking big. I was shocked. It was skinny and maybe it was lightweight, but it wasn't a little tiny thing. It was kind of long.
Because you need the camera. Otherwise, you'd have a really bad camera.
The camera was really small. You couldn't really see the camera. It did not look bulky. It was just the wingspan and everything was the blade span, whatever you call it. It was you could see it. You could see it.
Did you? Are you watching the Raws with the Cena and the whole sassy bitchy Cena? It's
Cena
I'm not doing this for you, and he grilled the kid.
Cena should have turned heel a long time ago. It's amazing they did it the year he's leaving. I really wonder how they're gonna close it out, because I feel like they don't want to retire him as a heel, right? I mean,
but if he attacked Cody Rhodes, right, and that was that, and he was attacking Cody Rhodes being the heel, I need the championship, then maybe they could have. But now it feels weird because he's I'm in an abusive relationship. I'm breaking up with you. you're all manipulative. The people who cheer for me and buy my merch, you kid over there, you're you're just a loser, whatever he's saying, making the kid cry.
Oh no,
How
he
can
was
you?
he's mad that they used him. They were using him. They didn't really care
Yeah.
about him. They were like just living vicariously through him to live out the
And
dreams that
like,
that
yeah,
they
his
couldn't.
character is like you were never loyal. You didn't hustle at all. You're just sitting there, and you have no respect for anything. But like, it is a fun. But I don't know how you can make someone like that a face. Like, because Cody Rhodes even said, he's like, in the first one he said, I don't want this John Cena, but in the second he said, oh, I see, you're really the same John Cena. So if you're the same John Cena and this is a like, then how do you bring it back? Like, what sort of revelation will you have where he's like, oh, I need the crowd, or the crowd wasn't abusive or whatever.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what are they doing here? Like I'm happy they did it because it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And again, they should have done it a long time
Yeah, like
ago.
it's a story. Like if you're writing it in a story, right? Then it's perfect. Like you don't have to care about the characters after the story's over. But with John Cena, he has he has to sell his merch, which the sales might be down, and he has to bring it all back. And then when he retires, imagine if he retires as a heel and then he has to come back, will he still be the heelish type character? Like what? How would that work?
It is. How are they gonna do it? I wonder. Yeah, but it's I'm just enjoying the ride because it's something that should have been
Yeah.
done a while ago, and they finally pulled the trigger, and it's great.
Can I say the road to WrestleMania should always have the European tour? Like the crowds are amazing.
Oh
Like
yeah,
American crowds
it's
can't.
American crowds suck. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Spain, Italy, Scotland, they've all been amazing.
Yeah. You
Uh,
know what? The only good American crowd was like the old ECW crowd. Literally, they got really into it. They cared
the
about it.
US, just
Yeah,
to
the
just to
US.
differentiate
Yes,
for people,
yes, in the
because
US.
Canada has been really good, especially Montreal.
Even
Montreal's
even even
one of the best crowds.
even the crowds that traditionally were good crowds, like a New York City crowd, is bad now because
They
the
don't know
New
how
York
to
City.
cheer
It's not just that.
or
It's
anything.
like they priced out their hardcore fans. That's it.
Yeah,
Like
but in Europe it's been insane. It's like WrestleMania prices for DO2.
yeah, I
Uh,
mean, uh, yeah, yeah.
but paid for the bleachers in WrestleMania 40 is what they paid for the bleachers for Random Raw, which is insane. But at that, I would have loved if they did a tour of other countries, but they're not gonna do for poorer countries. Like they're not gonna go to India and they can't charge that much. They're not gonna go to like I don't know. I wish they would go to
They
Pakistan,
did
but I
do
don't
they
think they'll
did
ever
do
go to
a
Pakistan.
while ago. They did do an India show.
Yeah,
They
but not
did.
SmackDown or Raw. Maybe they'll do a live
No, they
watch
did
or
like
what.
a special thing, like just for India, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they used Indian. They put over Indian talent too, which was I thought that was
yeah.
interesting. I mean,
But like
that's the
if
way to do it.
um, I would love if they did like Japan and Mexico and India and China.
They go to
China might
Japan.
not,
They go to Japan. They do.
yeah, but I mean like Raw and SmackDown as well, not just the live stuff.
Yeah.
Like do a pay-per-view maybe. I don't not think they'll ever go to Pakistan because we're not rich enough for them. But it would be insane if they did it because there's a
Yeah.
big base there as well
Yeah,
of
maybe
fans.
I think maybe eventually they'll as
Yeah,
wrestling continue, but yeah.
the money they
What's
is
that?
the actual thing. It's like the actual thing is the money they want because they want to like even though they're like record crowds, everyone's excited. They still want to squeeze more money.
Oh right. I mean the tickets are insane. I used to be able to back in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, what I would do, and this was for MSG shows too. I would go to like all the shows. And
Yeah,
you could get like I'm talking Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, and you could get like really cheap like nosebleeds, like 20, 30, $40. But also if you waited to the day of, the scalpers who had tried to price the really like even floor seats like really high and whatever they sold and made good money off of, but they
Yeah.
couldn't sell all of them at that price. They would fucking at the last minute like fire sale, like just sell it for. I would get like
That's
floor-
Ticketmaster. I
I
blame
would get like
Ticketmaster for
I would
that.
get like floor ringside seats on those third-party ticket seller sites for like $100.
Yeah.
Now $100 will barely get you in the door for the fucking nosebleeds. The fucking ringside seats now are like $500 to $1,000. Like
Yeah.
it's you're not. It's I can't afford that shit. I can't.
But,
I
like,
could do
In North
100.
Carolina, they had like $30 in the backs, but yeah, the floor seats are still insanely high. I blame Ticketmaster because Ticketmaster has done that to concerts and everything as
I'll
well.
be honest, like it depends how
WWE
far
is
you are.
also, but
But like once you get really far, like you're honestly gonna experience it much better on TV. I went to one WrestleMania, and we were so far. It's like we had the experience of going to WrestleMania. That's nice. It's been there, done that. It's in the bucket list. I'm gonna enjoy WrestleMania way more and see way more just watching it on TV. Like unless I got ringside seats in the first couple of rows, you're gonna enjoy
unless
it more.
unless it's like
TV,
unless it's
watch
like
it on
a
TV.
historic WrestleMania 40, because that's
but
what I
still,
went
if
to.
you're not able to see it and enjoy it, then you know what I mean. Like
I
it's got-
could. It was weird how much I could see, even though I was like really, really, really back. Except that the only
venue?
downside
Which
for me
venue?
was the entrance was ahead of me, like so I couldn't see entrances properly.
Oh, that's not a
like-
big. Which venue though?
WrestleMania 40 Philly, whatever this
All right,
arena is.
I guess maybe you got good. Maybe you had good seats. I don't know.
No, it was like way nosebleeds, but it was also like a really excited crowd, I guess, because it was like the best WrestleMania they've done maybe ever, or one of the best at least.
Yeah. That was wait. Which one was that? Which one? WrestleMania 40? You said
It was when the
the last
Cody
one,
won
right?
the title.
That was a good WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That was a good WrestleMania. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Good.
exactly.
Yeah, I guess like being there for that whole. See, I was at the WrestleMania where what was the the fucking last one at
You know, whenever I wouldn't want to be in is when Miz
WrestleMania
and
WrestleMania 29. It was really bad.
Oh.
It sucked. It was so
Yeah.
bad. It was
was it like which was the Miz and John Cena main event?
no, that
was-
was not, the main event for the one I went to was Cena versus The Rock.
Oh,
The second time. So it wasn't even like
yeah.
the
The first one was
specialness
at
of the
least
first
better.
one. Also, that terrible Triple H Brock Lesnar match where they had Triple H beat Brock. The Undertaker CM Punk match, which had a great build up, and the match itself was okay, but you know.
Yeah, the match was. People say the match is good, but I don't remember much of it.
But-
like,
But
it's-
listen to
I've
this.
never felt like watching it again.
Listen to this undercard, so you know just how bad this WrestleMania was. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. Fandango versus Chris Jericho.
Mm.
Daniel Bryan and Kane versus Big E and Dolph Ziggler. Mark
Oh,
Henry versus Ryback. The Shield,
okay.
The Shield versus Big Show, Randy Orton, and Sheamus.
Or when they were doing the random stuff.
And The Miz versus Wade Barrett. Horrible card. Really bad card. Really bad card. Possibly.
It's insane how like now you can have the undercard and you have people like Sami Zayn there or Kevin Owens, and before that the undercard was Alberto freaking Del Rio and Ryback. Like the night and day difference is insane.
And it was a title match. It was for the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, I know. I remember when Alberto Del Rio was the champ.
Horrible.
For no reason.
Really bad stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing special. No big run-ins. No big surprises. Just an all-around bad.
Okay.
Show.
Let me remember. I know one thing about WrestleMania 40, the Night 2 one, is we got the best WrestleMania entrance ever with Seth Rollins coming out with the whole parade. I think that's like the best WrestleMania entrance ever, bar none. where like Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre have the match, and Seth Rollins comes out with the term Mum's Parade or whatever they're called in Philadelphia, and that was like insanely fun. And then you got the whole cash in where Drew McIntyre was too egotistical and CM Punk did
Oh,
that.
that
And
was
David
great
Priest
too.
did.
I really
Yeah,
enjoyed that. The last few WrestleManias have been really good, I thought.
yeah. You had
Honestly, every WrestleMania since the pandemic has been pretty good, actually, except for the one that happened during the pandemic, obviously, like during the
okay.
lockdowns.
Here's the worst match of the night. It's the what are they called? The Karrion Cross group that aren't there anymore.
Oh, Razar and the authors of
Yeah, yeah.
Pain
Authors of whatever they were called, whatever
versus Bobby
those
Lashley,
versus
right?
Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. That was the worst match. Then we had AJ Styles versus.
But you know what? But you know what? Looking back, I remember that match being not so bad though. Like, yeah, on paper it doesn't look so great, but you know what? I don't know.
I'm saying that's the worst match of
Right.
the night. That's what I'm saying, quality wise. Then
And
you had
funny,
AJ
the
Styles
only
versus LA Knight.
out of the 6 people in that match, half of them aren't there anymore.
Yep. AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Then you have the Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. You have Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton for the US title. And you have Io Sky versus Bailey, which
It's a
they
good
did.
match. That was a great
Yeah,
match.
and of course we have the whole bloodline rules, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns fiasco, like all the stuff that happened there.
That was all great. I loved it all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an insane night to have. That's like being in person for that
Wait,
is
you went to
worth it.
night 1 or night 2?
Night 2. This is night 2.
See, that's the thing now though. Like, listen, I actually think as a viewer watching at home, the
Yeah.
fact that WrestleMania is 2 nights now is great. It's perfect.
Yeah.
WrestleMania was always way too long. It felt like a chore to finish. Like it was like
Yeah.
a 7-hour long thing, and it was like, oh
Yeah.
my fucking god, I can't do it anymore. Like, just get.
I
to
think
the
it's
big-
better for the crowd too, because
and I
like
think it's better for the crowd too.
I could-
But
yeah.
just another way for them to make more money. You want
I
to
mean,
go to
that's true.
you want to go to WrestleMania? You got to pick which night you want to go to. You want to go to both nights of WrestleMania? You got to pay twice.
Yeah. Of course they make more money, but in a way it kind of works out. More people can go, I guess, in a way. Like I couldn't
Yeah,
find the tickets. I'll go to the other night.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that I kind of don't like is that they have only 4 matches per PLE or whatever they call it now. They should have 5 matches at least. And they're trying to make other things 2 nights, which is kind of like WrestleMania, sure. Maybe Royal Rumble.
No, Royal Rumble
Everything
should
else-
not. No, Royal Rumble should be 1 night. 1 night. Oh wait, 'cause there's
No,
two
like-
There's 2 Rumble matches now. Right.
Yeah. That's why I said maybe. Everything
Yeah.
else, no. Like maybe Survivor Series because they're trying to make it the same thing as WrestleMania, like because it's like they could have like
No,
13,
isn't
14 matches.
SummerSlam is supposed to be the second biggest.
No, SummerSlam, not Survivor Series. Why did I say Survivor Series? Yeah, SummerSlam. Everything else doesn't need to be 2 nights. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And New Japan used to do this stuff of 2 nights, but they've fallen so much and they're like such a shell of themselves. They can't do 2 nights anymore.
What,
They had
the,
to do this AEW thing.
the worst thing that happened for AEW was like the Vince McMahon stuff happening just as they were like really getting comfortable and like getting a fan base. Because the second Vince was no longer part of the WWE and all the wrestlers and creative had more freedom there, the whole like selling point of an alternative took a hit because Vince was the problem with the WWE.
Oh yeah, they're like, I wish Bruce.
I still think
Pritchard was
AEW is
ousted
good.
too.
It's just not. It just not doesn't feel like you all these wrestlers would want to go to AEW to get away from like the problems of WWE. But now WWE doesn't have
Yeah,
those
but-
specific problems anymore.
Also, I don't know why they never set up anything properly. Like the more we learn about AEW, like they don't have structure for talent. Like they don't contact people who are injured. Like a lot of wrestlers have said. CM Punk said that. I think Rey Fenix said that. I'm injured. They're not talking to me at all. I have to go out and find doctors myself. I have to talk to the doctor in AEW myself. They're not contacting me. I'm injured. What the hell?
What
are you
sucks
doing?
that sucks about AEW is that there's too there's not enough people, and the people who are there are trying to do too many things. The fact that they didn't have a writing team for the long, I don't even think they have a writing team still. It was just
Yeah, it's
Tony.
the
It was just
Tony
Tony
Khan is
Khan
becoming more and
doing
more
it for
like
the
Vince-like character.
To-
Not
to-
not the
to-
rapey part, but the booking part.
Tony Khan was doing all the booking, and the wrestlers would basically get freedom to build their own characters and do that. Which I think, listen, I think it's important that they have a major say in
We're
their
in a balance.
direction.
Yeah.
But yes, I think the one thing that we did right was create a writing team. You do need a group of people who are making sure that everything is working together to build upon a show, to build a show. Like you can't have these guys writing one thing, these guys writing another. They're doing their own thing. They're on the same show,
you get-
but totally nothing correlates, nothing's related. No.
You get
need someone
repeats.
You need people to oversee and make sure everything flows into each other. And the problem with WWE was Vince McMahon was fucking with all that. But you do need a writing team to make sure that everything goes good for the whole show. It's a fucking show.
Yeah, like
AEW needs a full. Now I do know they ended up hiring one of the main writers for WWE a couple of years ago. This woman who was like a soap opera writer, and
Mercedes Moné, right? I think they both came
she was
together.
she brought so they do have
Yeah,
at
but
least a writer now. I'm not, maybe there's a few more, but they really need to work on the storyline building.
RJ City is apparently a good writer because he wrote the initial part of like Brian Danielson to Moxley and the Death Riders or whatever.
I'm definitely. There has been
Yeah,
great storylines, singular
yeah,
storylines.
disconnected.
Right. Timeless Tony Storm has been fucking fantastic. She's the highlight.
But like
she's the
another thing they
highlight
do
of
is
AEW.
that
She's the highlight of that show. She is
so,
their
yeah.
she is their fucking like rock. She is their big star.
But like they have they start out good, but of course stories in wrestling have to involve other characters. So they always fizzle out, like the Death Rider stuff is fizzling out because you're not coordinating with everyone else. So you can start good and then another writer gets in and then they're just doing the other stuff. And like Moxley shouldn't have been someone they can get their hands on. But now we have Adam Copeland hitting him with Spike or whatever in this like weird
That was
way.
gross, man. That was. I was never a big fan of like the deathmatch stuff.
No, I'm good with death matches, but this one is like because
I was never a big fan.
they-
I'm fine with hardcore wrestling. Like ECW was like to me the perfect like in between where it was still focused on like the both the wrestling and the hardcore stuff. Like you had fucking like Mike Awesome and Masato Tanaka fucking just beating the shit out of each other with crazy ass wrestling moves, but through tables and flying to the outside. It wasn't just like pointless, like just the hardcore stuff. They were doing the moves with the hardcore stuff. But like the deathmatch stuff where it's just like grabbing weapons and fucking making people bleed, I'm not a big fan of that stuff. Especially once they add the fucking fluorescent light tubes and shit. Once they add the fluorescent light tubes and shit, I tap out. I'm not a fan of that stuff.
Yeah, they could have that. You can enjoy that, but don't use real glass, for example. Use cane glass.
No, that's what a lot of them do, but I can't. I just the fluorescent light tube stuff is
No. Some people use actual glass because you can see people bleeding like crazy because you're using actual glass. Sugarcane glass wouldn't be able to make you bleed like that.
Yeah.
But like with Spike, with at least with the glass or whatever, the risk is bleeding. With the Spike or whatever, I think it's metal,
Dude,
so it can
hold
rust.
on. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just realized this was supposed to be a call-in show, and you called in and we've been talking for an hour, and I've enjoyed it immensely. But let me actually cut this one here, and let me take a few more calls before the entire episode is just you and me talking about wrestling.
Can I shill something for a bit? Personal thing.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm trying to still find a job and I haven't, so I've started a GoFundMe because otherwise I was running out of money and I'd have to leave Canada by April. I started a GoFundMe to maybe like be able to, if I don't find a job, be able to stay until June trying to find a job.
Share the link in the chat. Mention it here. Where can people find it? Please go ahead.
if people like Charlie Jinmer has the link if she is here because I can post links in the
Oh, okay.
chat. But we can get that. Share it around if you can, like give anything because uh, it always feels weird because there are like more people who need it, but
Hey,
sometimes.
people who listen to the show, they like you. You know, you're not asking for like someone to give you $100. You know, if you got a couple bucks, I'm sure you would take it if they wanted to give it to you. But
Someone, if what was that? Edward Gregorian wants to come out
right, if
and
Edward
give me
Gregorian's in the chat,
200,000.
if there's
I'll
if
do
there's
shows
an
for him.
Edward Gregorian in the chat,
You could cut it in half. 100,000
If
for
there's-
Matt, 100,000 for me.
if there's a secret Russian government funded spy in the chat, and there's some of that sweet Putin money that you're looking to
Yes.
give, listen, I will happily share that money with Usama.
Or if it's not money, if some US official or some other official of any country wants to add me to their Signal group chats, I'll share that information with journalists. I won't leave like the other guy. I'll be loyal to you. I'll stay in that group chat until you kick me out. I won't go down easily. I'll go out kicking and screaming. Okay, then have a good one.
Oh God! I was all of a sudden just the wave it hit me. No, but great. Honestly, this was a lot of fun with Sam.
Yeah.
I think this is what I needed after taking that. After missing the past couple of Wednesday night shows.
We started low and we ended high, but
No, it was. No, I mean, the beginning of our chat was
mood-wise.
obviously heavier
Mood-wise.
stuff, but it was very interesting.
Importance-wise, it went like this, and then enjoyment-wise, it went like this. I guess.
it was great, Usama.
But
great
like,
call.
talk to again. Just a reminder because we need more reminders of talking to leftist mafia of arranging something.
No, absolutely. Have a great night.
Like a memo or something. Have a good one. Bye.
All right, folks, let's take the next call. Now, for people who just tuned in and missed it at the beginning of the stream, I bid a farewell to Skype. If you don't know, Microsoft is shutting Skype down, and a lot of people enjoyed calling into the show via Skype. So if you are one of those Skype callers, the Skype line is open. You could call in via Skype, Doomed Live. If you don't have Skype, that's fine. I'm opening up the phone lines now. So 646 303 7337. That's 646 303 7337. Now, I can't go an hour long with the callers after that Usama call went an hour long. But if you call in, I'll stick around for another like 30 some odd minutes. And I could probably take like at least 3 more callers, 10 minutes a call at least. So 646 303 7337. Or Doomed Live on Skype. Someone just hung up. My bad. The problem with those long calls is that I see that there were missed calls during the Usama call. Is that the people who wanted to call? Oh, here we go. All right. I was going to say the people who usually want to call in, try calling in, see how long that call's going, and they tap out. But let's do this. 336 area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt. This is Declan. I'm in Colorado right now, but I'm from North Carolina. I'm at an engineering school in west of Denver. People know, you can probably figure that out.
I know nothing about schools. I'm terrible. Like people are like always like logos or sports teams, and it's like I have no fucking. I am the most the whole college experience type thing. The most divorced person from that world you'll ever meet. I got no idea.
Yeah, I understand. I get. Oh, look, someone restreamed bot. Someone said Golden, Colorado. They figured it out.
There you go. I have no idea, but good school, I'm assuming. Engineering.
Yeah. I just wanted to call to say that, you and other people, such as like everyone at the Majority Report, has certainly helped me, embrace or like get into the world of like actually acting in in politics, I guess, at like more local level. I'm in the our school's SDS. I assume you know that organization, right?
What is it? Actually, if it's real seriously, if it's like school related, I really don't know. What is it?
No, it's Students for a Democratic Society. Well, new Students for a Democratic Society,
Oh,
because I guess
okay.
the original one, I think, kind of died out after Vietnam ended, and this one
Mm.
started, I think, during like the Iraq War.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but we've done a bunch of local things here. Like I think recently we got to host No Other Land, and we had like 100 people
Oh, that's
show up.
good.
There's so many people there, and like I think we showed like Israelism, and we got the CU Boulder professor of like Jewish studies to come down and like answer questions and give context.
That's
So
really
much
interesting.
cool stuff happening over here. I don't have much information aside from that to give. I will say that if anyone's in the Denver area and is looking to do kind of like Palestinian, activism related activities, you can look up the Instagram page This Week in Colorado. It only has 4 posts, but that's
Also,
because
just to
the
be,
top post.
just to, this is stuff that if you're not an American citizen now, you can be deported for simply taking part in these activities that should be covered essentially under the U.S. Constitution and your freedom of speech, even as a non-citizen. But under this government, we're now just straight up fucking deporting people for doing this shit.
It's pretty disgusting to watch.
It is, frankly, very, yes. I am like it's very frustrating. I don't even have words for it. Honestly, it's happening. It's happening again and again. It's happening more and more, and eventually it's going to go beyond just non-citizens. Honestly.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I totally forgot I wasn't leaving a voicemail right there, so thank you for like interrupting.
Oh, what do you mean?
I kept talking and talking, and I was actually glad you interrupted, because I was getting to leaving voicemail mode for like
Oh no, it's fine. No, listen,
people.
did you not just hear that I literally just had a phone call that lasted for fucking 1 hour? I know people who discover my streams from the Majority Report are used to Sam giving you like 2 minutes and saying, "Oh, gotta jump," but
Yeah,
on this show, I
pretty
fucking
quick.
lose track of time and give callers 1 whole hour sometimes. So don't worry about going on. It happens.
Yeah, no, I don't follow the pro wrestling world, so it gave me a lot of insight into
Li-
what the amazing world it is.
I gotta tell you though, like seriously, understanding pro wrestling has never been more important because it fully embodies so much of our politics today. I mean,
Yeah, like
Trump
oh,
himself is a WWE Hall of Famer.
I know. The most I know
It's
about WWE is like Behind the Bastards. I think like 2 summers ago, I was doing like mowing lawns for people back in North Carolina, and they had like a 5-part, like 4 or 5 hour long set of podcasts on Behind the Bastards on Vince McMahon, and that's like kind of the most I ever learned about it.
that was a good one. So you learned a good number a good amount of stuff, honestly.
Oh, yeah, kind of the bad side, unfortunately, but
Oh no, no,
I
there
learned
is
what a heel was, and that was
if
enough.
it's Vince McMahon related, it's the bad side. Um,
Yeah.
listen, when when he dies, there's going to be so much talk about how important he was to pro wrestling and how he changed the industry forever. And that will be completely true in a lot of ways. I mean, modern wrestling was created by Vince McMahon,
Mhm.
but that's in negative ways in a lot of ways too. But also, altogether. Even aside from that, the industry side of it, he's a terrible person, huge piece of shit. Absolutely. Like when he dies, you can say he revolutionized modern pro wrestling, and he was one of the biggest scumbags on the face of the earth. That simple.
Exactly.
Like people can't leave.
That's my understanding of Vince.
Yes. I mean, what he did was, in order to change wrestling, though, he fucking broke the industry standards that everyone respected. Back in the day, there were tons of wrestling companies called, and they had called territories, essentially. And each of these wrestling companies basically ran that specific area. And you didn't encroach on their territory, and you respected where each person ran. Vince basically said, "Fuck it, it's all mine," and he won, but he killed basically the idea that like there were tons of people all over the country who could make a career out of wrestling, and that was no longer the case after WWE came along. It was basically you got signed to WWE. Or that was it. You were working, if you could find a small company to work for, you were working for like a pat on the back and a hot dog. Like that's still sort of the case to this day. If you're not, unless you're some big independent wrestling star, there's not like some small industry wrestling anymore. Because of Vince.
Yeah, that's that. You're reminding me of everything I think I heard about like 2 years ago on this podcast. So. See,
you mentioned wrestling to me, and I go off all over again, even to someone who's not even a wrestling fan. I'm sorry. So what did you want to go back to? Let's rewind back to what you were sharing.
I was just
got
saying
back
that
into wrestling. Go ahead.
I was just saying if there's anyone in the area who's looking for like pro-Palestinian like events or like town halls, there's a Instagram page called This Week in Colorado. And you'll find it because it just has a watermelon as its profile picture. But they post like town halls and other events like that are going on for the specific week.
All right, everyone. If you're in was it Golden? You said Golden, Colorado.
Yeah, but it also includes like the kind of general Denver area.
Okay, so if you're in or about Denver, Colorado, check out This Week in Colorado, you said?
Yeah.
This week, I guess you could just Google it, right? I'm gonna check right now if it shows up. This Week in Colorado.
It's ran by a woman from the West Bank.
Okay, so if you I see
do some events at our school before.
Google This Week. It's actually just Instagram.com/This Week in Colorado, very easily. And they got a bunch of events. Nothing coming up yet. This was so far the latest post was about the previous weekend's events, but I'm assuming they're gonna give updates and check it out for sure, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, there was a Ta-Nehisi Coates was in town, and you would have known about it if you were following this page. You could have gone to see Ta-Nehisi Coates on March 18th. Talk about his book, The Message. Damn.
And the AOC Bernie thing happened in Denver. Unfortunately, school was on spring break, and I flew back to North Carolina, so I had to miss that. Unfortunately,
shouldn't have been in North Carolina, man. What are we thinking? North Carolina.
Hey, man, it's better than South Carolina.
Oh, I will. Honestly, I don't know too much about South Carolina, but I believe you.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of all I wanted to say. Big fan of your work, I must say. Big fan of your work.
Means a lot. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
So I'll let you get to other callers. Have a good evening.
Have a great night. Thanks for calling.
All right.
All right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Oh, I had a bunch of people on the line trying to call in. Let's go. Here we go. Another caller right now. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Ren calling from Oregon. How are you doing, Matt?
Ren from Oregon. Oh, I got the whole West Coast calling. I guess it makes sense. It's 11 o'clock here on the
East
East
got
Coast.
The West Coast calling?
Yeah, we're
I
on
mean, it
the.
makes sense. It's 11 o'clock over there. People are getting tired.
It's exactly what I just said. Thanks for repeating exactly what I just said.
I'm so sorry.
I'm joking with you. I'm joking, but I thought that was funny. Yeah. What's up, Ren? What would you like to talk about?
Oh my gosh, like it's just well, I mean, there's a couple of things, but do you want to talk about buses a little bit?
Buses. Let's talk about buses. What's going on with buses?
Oh, I'm running for elected office for like a
What? Whoa,
non-paid
whoa,
elected office.
whoa, whoa! Back it up. Back it up. What are you running for?
I'm running for transit service director. There's 7 positions in my area, and basically the
Ooh.
people who are currently running it are setting the bus service to be on a track to not exist in 5.5 years. And yeah, I don't like that. And there's a lot of people who need the bus service. And, you know, if you expect the voters to fund a bus service, I think that I think you need to display a capacity to build a functioning bus service first. You know?
I would say that makes sense. Yeah.
It's like, you know, I was really surprised, you know, I kind of the DSA people in my area kind of just disaffiliated with the Democratic Party after 2024, and yeah, just kind of walked away and joined like local union organizing stuff. And despite that, the Democrats have been pretty friendly with us. Somebody paid my $10 filing fee, so that was nice. And basically, I'm running the whole election against somebody. I don't even know who the hell I'm running against, Matt. I'm just running against somebody who's never had to run against somebody before, and I'm doing the entire election on like $70 worth of like paper and like stamps and envelopes and printouts, and I just like write my thoughts, and then I print it out like a bunch of times on a copier machine. I make these little posters where I basically just disseminate like propaganda and saying like the things that I'm running for and like just basically rhetoric, and I have my friends go and put them all around the town that I live in, and I'm kind of doing my best. And I'm like, you know what, I think in the 600 voter election, just like going out and talking to people and putting up posters, like when you have 2 months to do that, that kind of does it.
Hey, it sounds like so. What happens? So you're running for the position. What does it entail? What would your what
So
would you?
what it entails is showing up to a board meeting once per month and generally being knowledgeable of and involved in the affairs of the budget, deciding different financial decisions, deciding on, you know, like fleet decisions in terms of, you know, updating fleet and different stuff like that. And basically it's a way to have some sort of like power and leverage over what decisions get made. So like basically a third are over the age of 60. Over the age of 50, and they run them from 7:30 in the morning to 5 o'clock at night with no breaks. And they aren't hiring new drivers to replace the old drivers, and it loses $800,000 a year. There's $4.6 million in the combined assets like Treasury. And so basically they're just trying to let it die with a whimper, which seems absolutely absurd to me. And I got to speak to like the union for like the drivers, and you know, basically I was saying we shouldn't be paying drivers like $21 an hour because you can make that amount of money working at like a weed dispensary or working as a general manager at a fast food restaurant. And like if people are having to get a CDL, pass a drug test for marijuana in a state where weed is legal, and they could be operating a semi-trailer or doing other commercial driving, you're really going to expect them to sign up for $21 an hour? And basically, yeah, I spoke to like the union leader about like having the transit service create more jobs. And, you know, I had a meeting scheduled because they were like, oh, this random person came in and said they should get a $4 raise on the starting salary. And now we have to talk to her about like why it's impossible to improve the service at all, because if the union asks for a $4 raise, we'll tell them we can't do it. And so I accidentally just kind of walked into that. But no, it's been super interesting. And I don't know, I could tell you my ideas to fix the service if you want to hear it really quick.
Yeah, let's go ahead. I want to make your case right here.
Okay, there's $400,000 dedicated to vehicle expenses every 6 months. Currently, the county spends $160,000 on them. A Ford Transit van is $56,000. Disability retrofits would be another $7,000. In the first 6 months, you could buy 3 Ford Transit vans. You could also immediately start hiring drivers. Currently, there is no accessibility infrastructure for the blind people or people who can't read at the bus stops. So basically, in the first couple of months, what you would do is spend $5,000 on advertising, try to hire 3 new drivers, purchase 2 or 3 Ford Transit vans, work on getting benches put at stops that currently don't have them, because there's a lot that don't have benches. It's the vast majority that don't. And then look at like setting up accessible infrastructure. Then next year after that, you purchase 3 or 4 or 5 more Ford Transit vans. You try to hire another 5 or 6 drivers. And basically the way you change the service is to have it function from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., drivers doing 6-hour shifts, and, you know, having the starting pay being $25, and the old drivers being able to, you know, not run themselves all day without a break, be able to train and meet the next generation of drivers, and be able to, you know, spend quality time with their families instead of being like, I have to keep working for the bus service or the bus service will stop existing. And let me see, I had some other stuff written down. Right now, fares are only in cash. It's impossible to pay for a fare with card. And that's really anachronistic, and like that needs to get fixed. But basically, if you were to replace like the diesel buses with like vans that get 3 or 4 times the fuel economy, you'd spend like $12,000 per van per year on fuel instead of $48,000 per bus. And you could basically have, currently they spend like $1.3 million on operator wages. You could have them spend about the same amount of money, maybe a little bit less, increasing the number of drivers from like 10 to like 22 or 23 and increasing the service hours. Sorry, that is my entire rant. Sorry for just kind of nerding it out there.
No, I think this was incredibly insightful, honestly. Like you said, like a lot there is overlap here, by the way, in terms of like, you know, obviously New York has a great public transportation system, but obviously it's nowhere near perfect. So
Can
definitely
you
don't
believe
like.
Zoran's polling at 18% against Cuomo?
Yes, I can. I mean, he's
Is
doing
there
great.
time?
I think so.
Okay.
You know, I don't know when Bill De Blasio broke out. You know, it is the perfect analogy that when Bill De Blasio first ran, he was the underdog. He wasn't supposed to. He wasn't even in like placing in the top like positions. The fucking
Is
lieutenant,
it is it
like
Brat Lander? Is that what his name is? The other guy who got like 8% in that poll?
yeah, Brad Lander.
Outlander?
Yeah, no, Brad Lander. Yeah, he was
Okay.
probably the more progressive person in the race before Zoran entered. And Zoran is a lot more. Zoran's a lot more progressive than he is. He's sort of like a, you know, I guess like a Chris Murphy Democrat, like one of those guys, like a little bit, you know.
So he cares about winning, but he's not rewriting the book at all.
No, he's, you know, I'd prefer him over Cuomo or Eric Adams, obviously, and
So kind of like a technocratic welfare state social democrat, kind of
yeah,
like
he's
De
like a social
Blasio.
democrat. Yeah, you know, if I was to vote today, and this will probably be my vote, I would rank, because we have ranked choice voting in the primary. I would rank
Yes.
Zoran first, and I'd rank Brad Lander second, and I probably wouldn't rank anybody else honestly after that. That would be my vote. That would be it.
You would vote Zoran Mamdani and then nothing else down the line for the mayoral candidate.
No, I'd put Lander second. Like Lander would be my second choice, but it wouldn't get to that because I think everyone will be eliminated, but Zoran
and Cuomo.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 33% versus 66%, so that means that he needs to come up with 17, 18%, which, you know, is doable.
The problem with Zoran's probably going to run into is that there's obviously a name recognition issue, and with someone as well known as Cuomo, it's going to be difficult to overcome. And I'm not saying you can't, but it's going to be difficult. The second thing is that Cuomo jumped into the race purposely very late.
So that there wouldn't be time for people to build like a campaign against him
Yes.
and call him a sexual predator and a rapist the whole time.
Yes. And the April, May, June. He's got essentially 3 months to fucking do this. It's not impossible. I would certainly. I don't know what my campaign strategy would be. Obviously, look at those. Look at the polling and where you're doing not so great, and that's where you got to focus on, or at least the areas where you think you can make inroads. It's gonna be difficult, but it's not impossible. He just needs a moment. Like that's what Bill De Blasio got. Bill De Blasio had a moment.
This is like how politics used to work. Like people haven't campaigned in this way in so long. Like
he's good.
It really strikes me as similar to like the types of campaigns that would happen in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
He's been good. I really, unfortunately, New York is still New York. Oh
yeah.
It's not the place people think it is.
Well, it's kind of like Andrew Cuomo is like the stand-in for like abundance liberalism or whatever the hell. Speaking of that, there's a bunch of right-wing billionaires behind that.
What?
Have you heard about abundance?
Oh yeah. We could probably get more into that, a full episode on it or something. Yeah.
Okay. No, I'll leave that for later then. But like, oh my God, they completely ruined the title of an article that I wrote. I completely ruined it because I wrote this article for a local zine and it was like green energy in the case for energy abundance. And now I can never publish it. I'm like, God damn it.
I mean, just change the there's other words that mean abundant.
I know, and I'm just like, dude, I know I'm like kind of mimicking Hassan here, or like the way that he speaks about this, but it's like real neoliberalism has never been tried. Neoliberalism doesn't fail. People fail neoliberalism. Like, it's like they're not gonna do this exact same shit again. Like, oh my God, I can't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
One more thing before I go. Or I guess, yeah, one or two more things. I'm traveling across the country.
Please.
So, like, I'm coming across the country. I'm going to head through, like, Cincinnati on the 11th. Going to make it through Huntington and Charleston, get on the Northeast Corridor. Probably end up in New York anytime between, like, the 18th and the 21st and start heading back. This is a horrible time to travel, and you know what? I'm so glad I'm doing it by train, because that feels like the safest way to get across the country right now when ICE is doing shit.
Right.
But also, it's like, I don't know, people are getting advice to, like, always carry their passport with them. But I'm just, like, I'm so scared right now, Matt. Like, I'm very, like, energetic and, like, motivated, but I'm, like, well, like, if there's, like, a papers, please stop, like, I need to prove that I'm a citizen, but, like, what if I show them, like, my passport and it has a M, like a male on, like, the sex marker, and then they tell me my papers are fraudulent and, like, put me in some fucking black site in Louisiana? Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just like, this shit sucks. This shit is going to get so bad so quickly. Like, this can go really, really badly for a lot of people. And it really depends on people, like, doing something about it and, like, voicing their dissent to it and having conversations about it and, like, earnestly and vibrantly living out their politics and saying what they believe and telling people what the fuck is going on. And we just got to rely on hoping that the average worker in this country and the average person who's normally, like, out of sight, out of mind with shit listens to people saying shit and actually believes them. Fingers crossed on that.
Yeah. No, it's we're in we're in we're in bad times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's bad times. It's pretty bad times. Um, I don't know. It's like it's a strange time to be an American. I kind of get the feeling. I don't know. I spoke about this a bunch with somebody earlier today. I get the feeling sometimes that I was born 30 years late, or now I'm 22. I'm just kind of doing my thing, coming into the world, fleshing out my politics, figuring out my rhetoric, and I'm realizing that so many of these different battles have not been fought over the last 30 years. And I'm like, uh-oh, we needed to do stuff about this like a while ago, and that hasn't happened. This is really bad. Like, it might be too late, but like people have to start doing shit now, or we're going to like permanently have a degradation to our freedom of speech and other civil liberties, and it's going to be really bad, and people are going to miss it when it's gone.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Ren, it's been nice talking with you.
Thank you for allowing me to ramble.
No, I wish it was just that we went in the opposite direction. We start with that, and then go to the oh, I'm running. Let's talk about the bright side of things. This is my campaign.
Yeah, no, well, it's like both things can be
not
coexisting at the
see.
same
That's what you
time.
got. Make sure you do that for your campaign. You don't want to go. I'm running for this, and this is what I plan on doing, and this is why you should vote for me. Before you
And this
leave,
is why
though,
everything's horrible.
yeah, before you leave, though, this is why everything's horrible. Everything sucks, and it's not getting better. I was actually born too late.
Okay. Can I please read you the first 3 sentences of this? Because I think it's a very good framing. Okay?
Go ahead.
Okay. So there's no question that the bus service isn't working. Monday through Friday and 8:30 to 4:30 is not viable for anyone who wants to work or raise a family. So how do we fix it? First, we realize buses provide a massive benefit to society. The elderly, sick, students, and the needy use transit every day to get groceries, see a doctor, go to school, or see loved ones. We need to serve those people more, not less, underlined. Cutting service greatly reduces efficiency, saves very little money, and will eventually destroy the service. We cannot allow that to happen. Instead, we must make a leaner, meaner, and more effective service. And then I go through everything I want to fucking change. And I'm like, I think that's a good hook of being like, this is currently doing a lot of good for people. We need to recognize that this is a public good that should be preserved. And also, here's how we need to make sure it's actually more of a public good.
That was good. There you go.
Thanks. I will leave now so you can talk to other people. Thank you, Matt.
No, I
Be
think
well.
I actually think that's the. I'm gonna read the super chats, and I think that's the show. Unless maybe I'll take one more caller if they're there. But
Take one more call.
Oh, I'll take one more call if they're there. Absolutely, because you said so. Have a great night, Ron. All right, folks. Who will be the final caller of the day? And then, by the way, tomorrow, Leftist Mafia. It's gonna be a good one. I will. We have a guest, I believe. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's gonna join us, but I don't want to get people's hopes up. So, let's just say that our guest will likely be someone who was just told that they could no longer appear on TYT. Because they could always appear on Leftist Mafia. All right. Oh, I just lost whoever tried to call. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. They might not even call back in. They might be so upset that I fucked it all up. All right, so I'll read some. I'll read the. Someone in the chat. A few people in the chat are getting it. I'm pretty sure she's coming on. I gotta confirm it 100%. I'm pretty sure she's coming on though. All right, let's go to the super chats. Donald James with a membership super chat. Longtime fan of your work since the MJB days. Michael Jamal Brooks days. Yep. Here's to another 20 months. Cheers. Thank you, Donald, for being a member of this show for 20 months. This channel, I should say, for 20 months. Yep. The good old days. Matt and Mike Mondays. Me and Michael Brooks holding down the Majority Report. No rules. No responsibilities. No ad reads. Oh, I meant to say, thank you everyone for your kind words about me pulling some of the main hosting duties, sharing some of those main hosting duties with Matt Leck on the Majority Report last Thursday. Emma was out sick. I did a few ad reads, led some of the segments along with Matt Leck, and of course Brandon Sutton joined us. I think we did a good job. We don't need Emma. Who needs Emma? But yes, tomorrow I'll be on the Majority Report and Leftist Mafia. And Emma will be there tomorrow. Unfortunately. All right, let's go to the next super chat. Oh my god. A wave of tiredness. I've been feeling under the weather too. I think I haven't been officially sick, but both my kids got sick a week apart from each other. It's been, they wake up in the middle of the night. I think just the lack of sleep and just the kids and other stuff, which I got to share with you guys. It's been busy. It's been busy. Bay Photo with a super chat. 2 super chats in a row. I'm going to read both. Here's the first one. 1741, Airstrike Battalion, F-22s, confirmed target. Second super chat. Oops, I just super chatted war plans. Very clever. Very clever, Bay Photo. Tokyo Hans with a few super chats. Excuse me. Tokyo Han says, I'm curious. Do you think the U.S. Olympic teams will suffer with all these Trump deportations and airport detentions? Who knows? It's a good question. I mean, not the U.S. Olympic teams, other countries' Olympic teams especially. How will tourists come and visit? Tokyo Han's another super chat. Still waiting on Matt to have a 24-hour call-in show so we can have 5 callers call in. Love you all. We need to hear from all of you more. You know what I want to do? Sort of inspired after seeing the Sam Cedar Jubilee thing. I would love to just talk to conservatives, like a show where even if it's a regular panel show with conservatives, I want to talk to conservatives so bad. So fucking bad. Seriously. It's just, oh my God, I want to so bad. So bad. I would do a fucking panel show with a conservative or a few conservatives. I just want to fucking talk to conservatives so fucking bad. I've always wanted to, but after seeing the Sam Jubilee thing, I'm like fiending for it. Where are these? I saw some of these young sort of social dem streamers, especially on Twitch and TikTok. Where the fuck do they find these people, these right wingers who constantly call into their shows? Where? I don't get it. Oh, Kowalski, call in on Skype. Go ahead, call in on Skype. I think you're joking, but if you're not, call in on Skype. I'll take your call 100%. Now, the point of talking to conservatives isn't to like cut through to them, like, oh, make inroads with them. No, it's because people watch that shit. Their viewers watch that shit. Or like people who believe what they believe watch that shit. And there are a lot of people who believe what conservative media puts out that are not hardcore like right wingers. They're not. It's a fact. It's not. Especially Rachel says they're all Gen Zers, especially young people. Especially young people. Lynn says it's a little late for this, to be honest. Nah, it's never too late. This is gonna keep going and going and going. None of this is too late because we are now in a purgatory. We are forever stuck in purgatory, where we will get 4 years of the most fucking right wing motherfucker you can imagine, and then we'll get 4 years of the most corporate fucking return to norms Democrat you can imagine. And we will be in that purgatory in a loop forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Look what we're doing in New York City right now. Eric Adams might as well be a Republican. I mean, he's literally being fucking blackmailed by the Trump administration and going along with it. So who is New York City about to elect? A fucking right-wing corporatist Democrat who resigned as governor previously for sexual harassment. We are in a loop here forever. This is until we find a way to break out of this. This is 2028. It's going to be it's going to be a fucking younger Biden. I mean, think about it. We went from Bush to Obama, which the dressing was different. Obama was supposed to be different, but when you look at what actually was done and what was actually how the administration actually went, just think about it. I mean, we don't even gotta go, but we can even go further back. Carter, Reagan. I guess you know Bush was an extension of Reagan in a way. It's, Bush won, so it wasn't the exact loop, but same thing pretty much. Clinton, Bush 2, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. We will be fucking stuck in this forever. We are in a political purgatory. It will happen over and over and over again until we fucking break it. Until there is a New Deal or some sort of Medicare for all. I'm using New Deal as the example of something that did happen. Until there is something, a social safety net program, a meaningful change in everyone's life for the better, for good. This is going to be the world we live in forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I remember during the Obama administration, the idea that Republicans were a national party anymore was dead. We will be in this purgatory, in this cycle forever until we break it. I'm not saying fucking I'm going to break it, but we all do our part in terms of convincing a single person that there's better than this. Don't listen to these motherfuckers. They're horrible people. And they're not helping you either. They're being horrible while actively hurting you. David Drake says Matt Binder for president 2028. You know, every now and then I think about, not running for president. That's you gotta build up to that. Every now and then I think about running for office. To me, though, that's something I would do maybe a little bit later. I don't know. I don't want to. I'm still relatively young. I don't want to ruin my life with working in DC right now. I want to enjoy my kids. Hey, Kowalski. Whoa, hey, how you doing, Mr. America?
Well, as you can see, I have draped myself in the flag, which makes me bulletproof. Ren, when you're crossing the country, this is what you do. It is camouflage. They can't touch you against the rules.
You look like the Hulk Hogan's old wrestling theme song should be playing right now. I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. You know, that's you look like you're about to, or you just won a gold medal for Team USA, and you're running the running around the field.
Well, I mean, it's look, the country, like you were just saying, if we don't break this current status quo, we're going to have to keep reliving this again and again and again. So, Matt, it's time. We march on D.C. I need you to rally Queens militia. I'll call Matt.
The Queens militia?
He will rally the Brooklyn militia.
Yes, we got militias here.
You guys don't have a militia.
We definitely do not. No.
Do you have any connections to Antifa?
I mean, I know plenty of people who call themselves Antifa. Anyone who's anti-fascist is Antifa. Anyone can be Antifa. There's no membership.
All right, look, that's good. They can't, counter-strike us, but I was really hoping that the coastal elites would bring their A game with this one. Without your guys' militia, what exactly was your plan here? The courts? You were just hoping the courts would save democracy? Is that what I'm hearing from the people of Queens?
No, we don't really got militias, but there's Molotov cocktails, DIY stuff.
That's all defensive. We got to go on the offensive.
Right. All right. Kowalski, you need to run again, my friend. That's number one.
I probably will. So don't worry about that. I've got my own shenanigans.
I actually think you should like, I know I'm not saying you didn't take it seriously last time, but I think you should really build out this campaign this time. You saw how well you did under what little you had, little resources you had. I think if you put together like a real deal campaign, I think you might be able to pull off the upset.
I'm looking at something a little more local, but yeah, it's when there's something to report, I'll report. But I've got shenanigans in the works. Don't you worry.
I think that's gonna be a major part of it. Obviously, like I know. Obviously, we can't just elect ourselves out of this, vote ourselves out of this, but it is electoral politics is obviously a major component of this all too.
I would agree. It will help. And actually, this is something I wanted to run by you since you are part of New York, even though you guys forgot to make the militias. Seriously, you guys had such great militias during the revolution. What were you thinking? Obviously,
the times have changed, my friend.
You guys literally held the British at bay for a whole day at the Brooklyn Heights. What's wrong with you? Moving on. In my opinion, I think AOC is being put by Bernie into a leadership position. I think you would agree with this, right? Like he is probably trying to formally pass the mantle, correct?
Yes, and I think that's no surprise. I mean, I think that was always going to be. I mean, there was never anybody else. Honestly.
No, probably not. In my opinion, I think it would make more sense for AOC to be the governor of New York.
No.
Most people would say senator. Hear me out on this. I would agree. A senator gives you more of a national platform, but I also think that Congress is functionally useless and that a governor actually can do things. And that might be a better route to build political power. Why would you disagree?
I mean, think about who has run for president and what they were prior. How many governors in recent years have become
George
president?
W. Bush,
George, it's been
Bill
a while, though.
Clinton,
That's
George
two, sure.
H.W. Bush,
That's three.
Ronald Reagan, Jimmy
Well,
Carter.
We're going back now. Look at the we got Obama, senator. We got
Yeah,
Trump,
a junior senator.
Biden, senator.
Biden was there for 8,000 years.
So he was never governor. I think it looks like more recently it's been better to be a senator.
Vice president is an honorary governor. I just made that up. I don't know. I personally think, especially in a time of populism, a governor might have a better chance at building a platform because in a place like New York, I feel like you guys could actually do some things that would be kind of, like everything.
Which is why we always have
California
shitty governors.
could do.
Because God forbid we put someone in office who could actually do some of those things. No, that'd be stupid. It's also you're right in terms of it's the more analogous position. I mean, governor's essentially like the president of the state.
Exactly. It's an executive. It's a chief. That's the leader. That's that.
Hey,
and
looking at how it's been, maybe that's the way to go. But then, George Bush obviously ruins your argument if that's the argument you're going to make.
You don't believe George W. Bush was at least a top 3 Republican president in the last 40 years?
Oh, he's at the bottom of the list. I see what you're doing here. Actually, no. Him and Reagan would be, Trump. The second term of Trump is doing a good job here. I don't know. I mean, there's certainly all three of them below HW. Let's put it that way in terms of overall harm caused.
It's hard to beat HW. He was the king, like best Republican since Nixon, clearly.
Yeah, it's oh my God, we are in hell, man.
It's all right, because this can only end one of two ways. Either we liberate ourselves because everybody is equally angry and we all in one unified voice protest, or the joint Canadian-Brazilian armies will liberate us. That's my plan B. Really, really leaning on Canada on that one. So,
yeah.
It's all right. We just need Canada or Brazil to purchase group chats, and then we will have all the military planning in advance, and that should give them the edge.
That's all we did?
Yep, that's all we need. Maybe one very cool waitress who's willing to seduce Pete Hegseth, which shouldn't be difficult as long as it's after 11 o'clock in the morning and he's had at least a lethal dose of alcohol.
Yeah.
The guy that has control of the most powerful military on the planet.
God, what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Well, we are slowly slipping to nationalism, which is why we must embrace patriotism.
It's hard to even look at that flag right now.
Whoa. This is the flag of patriots. This is the flag that is flown on the moon.
It's never really big. It's never really big with that word either, though. Even before the right tried to, or has been taking it over. Patriotism.
They don't. They're not patriots. They're nationalists.
They're
nationalists
not.
are exclusive. Patriots are inclusive.
Yeah.
It's always been that way.
I see what you're doing here, but I think it's what's done is done.
No, it's not. Symbols are important. This is our symbol. We're the ones who defeated the Nazis with it. We had
Well,
some help from the Soviets. Don't get me wrong.
I was gonna say the hammer and sickle should really be the.
See that? The democracies and the communists worked together to defeat fascism last time.
Right.
Unfortunately, there are no communists to help us this time.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, a lot of people in this country think that Russia is still communist and think the communist Russia is our enemy right now. I mean, it's pretty wild stuff.
That is a failure of the educational system, which thankfully we don't have to worry about the educational system anymore.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, Kowalski. Why did I take
You
this call?
see, that's why you need a good governor, because now New York can just have its
Kowalski, what are you
own
doing?
educational system.
Kowalski, I was leaving on a high note, and then it's like, oh, Kowalski's got something in store for us, and then he just comes in and just reminds me about how bad everything is.
It's not all bad. I truthfully, honestly do believe that this is the final gasp of neoliberalism. This is its final manifestation.
I mean, people were saying that, man, last Trump.
No. We accepted barbarism in this election. They are going after the key pillars that keep the empire afloat. They have removed agencies within the Pentagon that are supposed to do forward planning for 50 years out because they're woke or whatever the hell that means. This will destabilize us. They did nothing like this last time. This is truly different. The only thing we have left right now is a Supreme Court that's not taking court cases because they don't want to tell Trump no. That is different. That is freaky.
I wish I could believe you, man. I mean, look what's happening in New York. You think you would be like, no more of the old ways. We're fucking sexual deviant, assaulter, harasser, criminal. Trump is in office. What are we gonna do in New York? We're gonna fucking lead the resistance by fucking electing that same guy with a D next to his name. I mean,
I don't think he'll win. I think right now there's too much national noise. Once it starts getting down to the wire and people start remembering the stories, it's going to hit them pretty hard. Right now, we're overwhelmed. We're overstimulated. I can take it because I drink a lot of coffee. So
from your lips to God's ears, my friend. Oh, I hope so much. And I do think that Zoran could do it. Obviously, I'm not saying it's over.
He is.
But
will it into existence?
I will do my best. I will
rally the militia of Queens to vote for him.
I will. Queens, militias, together we must rally now. Oh my God, Kowalski, we're so fucked.
No, we're not. Long live the Republic. We've got this.
All right,
that's
Kowalski.
Our battle cry.
I'll run into battle with you, Kowalski, but I'm not promising we'll win.
All right. Well, you have kids, so you stay behind me, and I will break the door down.
I appreciate that. It was very thoughtful of you.
Well, I am very courteous. You have a good night, and stay positive, folks. Remember, the oligarchs will run out of ammunition before we run out of the working class.
Oh, I love that one. There you go. That's a good one.
Exactly.
That's how you leave on that positive note. Have a great night, Kowalski. All right, folks. I'm closing out the Skype. One of the last times we'll be using Skype. And let's go back to those IMs, super chats here. Chris with a member for 20 months super chat. Thank you, Chris. Is that MGT go back where you came from interview real or AI? Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. See, there's so fucking much going on right now that I don't even know what you're talking about. No, it looks like it's real. A lot of mainstream coverage. It's real. Did not even know about this. God, we are bad times. Tokyo Hans gave out 5 community gift memberships to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Tokyo Hans. Chris with a $10 super chat. Good afternoon. In the United States of America, every day, more and more people who have spoken against bombs being dropped are being arrested, denied due process, and imprisoned. How are you? Oh, God, Chris, we were talking about this earlier. It is so fucking horrible. It is. Well, it's going to take us a lot to come back from this. Maybe we can't come back. Back when The Walking Dead was still good before it jumped the shark. One of the themes of that show was, they made decisions that resulted in the death of people that they possibly could have saved. And like one of the themes of that show was, you can't come back from this. You can't go back. Dude, I don't know if we could come back from this. I mean, also, I don't want to go back in terms of like, can we come back from this in terms of like who we are? That's the question. But we can't go back to how things were before. That was the failure of every campaign, whether it won or failed, against Trump. Hillary, Biden, Kamala, the return to norms. You can't go back. And people don't want to go back. People don't want to go back to something that could have been perverted into this to begin with. Lunar Spunk, member for 8 months with a super chat. Thank you so much, Lunar Spunk. Good night, Hulkamaniacs and jabroni marks without a life that don't know it's a work when you work a work and work yourself into a shoot marks. Thank you for that great callback to the most fantastic Hulk Hogan tweet of all time. Maybe one of the best tweets of all time, period. And Hulk Hogan sucks. It was just a good tweet, though, because it made him sound really crazy and stupid. D4s 2001 with their very first super chat. Thank you, D4s. Jitsi is a free video conferencing software. Yeah, I was looking into some options after Skype is over. It's just not integrated into the system I use. And it's not easy to get people to, like, when I have people on who I'm interviewing, they're not always so tech savvy. We're talking about old school professors and experts in certain areas, journalists. Some of them are young and know what they're doing. Some of them are not. And so it needs to be a really easy sort of thing to do. And also it needs to integrate. I'm going to have to pay for Zoom. I mean, I'm not getting an entire fucking corporate account. How much does Zoom cost? What's like 13? It says $13 for the pro plan. I mean, that's what I'll need to get. Now, I'll use it to my advantage if I'm paying for it. I'm gonna obviously use it a lot. We could have people call in via Zoom. We could do Zoom meetings, like Zoom Hangouts. I know Mike from the Humanist Report does things like that. Maybe this will give me the kick in the ass to do that for members too. We should do that. We should definitely do that. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Fun fact, the flag on the moon is white. It has been bleached by sunlight due to no protective atmosphere, so we are technically pre-surrendering to any alien invasion. Is that true? Chris with a $10 super chat. The left likes to cede ground to the right, all the historically most useful forms of coalition building, patriotism, and religion, throwing away the baby with the bathwater. I mean, I'm just not I'm fine with people being religious and being loving whatever, having pride in their country or background or whatever. I just don't personally feel that. So it's hard for me to. I like I like people, whether they're from here or not. Good people, whether they are American or not. That's what I liked about the United States of America. People from all over come here. It's very nice. I like that. I understand that people who are against my political ideologies do not like that. I don't know what to say to them about that. To me, that's as American as apple pie. I don't know what else to say. That's the America I know, living and born and raised in New York City. Maybe New York City isn't the real America. I mean, why would one of the original 13 colonies be part of the real America? No way are we the real America, right? I mean, it's always absurd when they say something like that. Kowalski with a $5 super chat. Long live the Republic. Thank you, Kowalski. People are talking about Discord again. I just don't think Discord is accessible for people who don't use Discord. Like, I'm going to send some author who's a guest on the show a Discord link to it's too much. Zoom, you click a link, you're pulled in. I'm going to have to do Zoom. See, people in the chat are trying to take away apple pie from America. I still fucking love apple pie, all right? Put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top of that shit, some fucking apple pie a la mode. It's fucking the best dessert there is. Cinnamon apple crisp with ice cream. Oh my God. It's the greatest dessert known to man. I don't care if it's American or Austrian or English or French or Spanish or I don't care. Over on Twitch, thank you, Tubular, for the 30 bits. Really appreciate it. All right, folks. To support this show, go to patreon.com/MattBinder. Your support as via a membership helps this show grow and helps me continue to do this show. You could also become a member at youtube.com/MattBinder via YouTube. Or you can go to twitch.tv/MattBinder if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber. And you get a free Twitch Prime subscription every month. So basically, you pay Amazon for your free Prime deliveries and quick shipping and your Prime Video. And when you pay them for that, every month they give you, without really telling you, they don't really make this very obvious to people who don't know. They give you a free membership to a Twitch subscription for your favorite creator every month. You basically give that Twitch Prime subscription to a creator, and at no extra cost to you, Amazon pays that creator. It's not very much, but it's something. If like a whole bunch of you do that, I get paid a whole bunch more money than I do already. So be sure to use your Twitch subscription. And yeah, what else? Majority Port tomorrow on the usual Thursday Fun Half crew. Leftist Mafia tomorrow with a special guest. And someone in the chat says, Matt, you look exhausted. Raising kids is enough as it is, let alone doing anything else. Get some rest. I appreciate it. Yes, like I was saying, the kids have been sick. One each week. On top of like their soccer season starting. And I coach. Okay, so you all know I coach my son's team one of his teams. He's on a travel team that's well beyond my coaching abilities. He's on a travel team. He was good enough to get accepted into a travel team. But he's also on his school's team, which I coach. My daughter wants to play soccer too, because her big brother's playing soccer. There was no team at her age level currently. There could be, but in the school there wasn't right now. So a bunch of parents, knowing that I coach my son's team, came up to me and was like, "Hey, what's going on? Why isn't there a soccer team at this level? My kid would love to play soccer." Oh, cool. Let's put the team together. I'm coaching that team too now. So I'm coaching. My kids are on 3 soccer teams now. I coach 2 of them. Sarah says, Matt, when are you gonna get some merch? I need to. I need to. I've actually wanted to like do shirts for a very long time. Not even just like show related. Like back for my, punk band days. Like I really wanted to do like a shirt brand with like fucking cool punk designs. I could do that with like the show branding stuff too. I got to do it. You're right. So, oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, opening day, baseball opening day tomorrow. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. People want the Binder plushie. I know. I want the Binder plushie. It's expensive though. We need to get like 300 orders minimum for them to make the plushie. I can't put in 3 orders. 300 orders. I can't lay out 300 orders in advance. I would need to like 300 people would need to put down the money first for me to make the order. Bozy says Matt's voice sucks though. My punk vocal voice is good. I don't sing clean or non-punk music. Like I can't do a cappella. But I did vocals for my punk band, and it works. It's I wasn't the only vocalist, but I was a vocalist, and it works. I'm not an a cappella singer. I don't have a beautiful singing voice. It's meant for a punk or like a hardcore or punk band. Oh, we got another super chat. Rachel, how do I search for you on Amazon to subscribe to your Twitch? More than happy to support you. Okay, so you have to. It's not through Amazon. You do it on Twitch. Oh no, when I sing a cappella like as a joke on this show, it's horrible. Don't worry, Bo. I'm not purposely singing bad, but I'm not also trying to sing good either. So you got to go to Twitch. And if you have a Twitch account, somewhere in the settings, I forget where, you need to connect your Amazon account to your Twitch account, but while being on Twitch. And then you'll get that Prime subscription every month to give to your favorite creator. I should do like a tutorial on how to do this, but I can't do it right now because I'm too tired. Ren says, do you have songs online we can listen to? I don't. I've played them on the show before. I really need to just put them up. I need to find the hard drive where they all are, and I got to put them up on like Spotify or something. I'll pay the fucking fee to get them on Spotify or something. You guys know how to make me ramble. I could go on. Jeez. All right, folks. Who am I? Valinova just gave out. Valis Nova just gave out 10 community gift subs over on Twitch. Thank you so much, Valis Nova. All right, who am I rating on Twitch? Who's on right now? Let's see. I'm just going to pick someone. Too tired to wait for you guys to tell me who. You're going to get me talking for another hour the way you guys get me going. Amy EC3 is on. I haven't rated Amy in a while. I'm going to rate Amy EC3. Um, Yep. Thank you, Rachel. I'm on the Twitch website right now. Okay, I'll make an account to subscribe to you now. Okay, so yeah, so you make a Twitch account, and then somewhere in those Twitch settings, once you make the account, is somewhere to hold on. Let me look up the tutorial. How to use Twitch Prime sub. Oh, here you go. It's on the official Amazon website. They have Amazon has an official how-to. There we go. There's the link. It has all the steps you need. I really appreciate it, Rachel. That's very nice of you to A, offer to do it, but then B, share that you don't know how to do it, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people who don't know how to do it. And instead of reaching out so they could figure out how to do it, they're quietly not telling anyone they don't know how to do it. So thank you, Rachel, for being brave to share that you needed help, and because it's surely going to help other people. All right, folks. Stick around on Twitch for Amy EC3. And I'll see you all tomorrow on Majority Report and Leftist Mafia. Have a wonderful, fantastic, beautiful rest of your night.